Hello, everybody! OBS updated and they fixed the thing. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love it when you fix things, man. Like, thank you. All right, let's hop on YouTube, make sure everything is running okay. We shall see. YouTube is running fine. That means next we boot up Twitch. Bloop. Nope, 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 nope. Don't play other people's videos. Play my video so I can figure out what's going on. Nice. All right, Twitch is up and running as well. Chat only. Thanks. Bloop. Put that right there. Housekeeping stuff. First thing I want to say is I know people have been like, hey, you should record some of your stuff. Even some of my players have been like, oh, you should record when you play the game. I still have zero intention of recording any of my game sessions in their entirety because I know for a fact most of you will hate my players. And I don't need you to hate them. I'm helping, okay? This is for the best. However, at the end of my last session, a bunch of my players had visions. However, one of the players whose character was going to have a vision left before the vision portion happened. So we were like, oh, do we start the next session with said vision or what? What should we do? And I was like, okay, as like a one-time deal sort of thing, I'm gonna record the visions for the characters that are here, but the players are not, or they're NPCs or what have you, that we don't really care that much about. However, what usually happens at the end of my session is after we call the session quits, one thing I do want to for sure, I'm going to make a delving into your DMs video about this. You need time to decompress at the end of a session. Everybody does, especially if you're doing really long games. Like our group goes 10, 12 hours in one sitting because we only meet once a month. So you need that decompression time. The problem is with my group of players, we have one particular player. It's our only digital player who doesn't take decompression time after the session as decompression time. Generally speaking, Creepshow Kate takes that as more role-playing time to the point where like the session should be over, but she just keeps going. And I was supposed to be making a short little video with, I can go into more detail when that player's actually there, but I was supposed to be recording the visions for the characters and NPCs that we didn't do as a group. And the first one ended up being like 20 more minutes of role play with my one player who doesn't take decompression time as that the session is over and takes it as the session is still continuing. So that part's going to be a little long, but after that, it's just the visions of those. I did record those extremely shittily. There wasn't like a proper setup or anything. I just grabbed one of the phones that we usually use as a camera. I set it up in front of me and started talking. It is next to my laptop, which sounds like a jet engine taking off because it has a desktop graphics card in it, even though it's a laptop. So there's a lot of background noise, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get rid of. And like, yeah, it could definitely have been recorded better. But I am going to be releasing that particular video on Thursday because if I make it unlisted, the Laundry King, whose character, like as the player, he was gone already, but his character did have a vision. I want him to be able to find the video. And I know that he watches my videos. And I know that if I make it unlisted and give him the link, he will either never find it or never watch it. So I just want to put that up there and make sure that that's out there. So that being said, okay, something technically of me DMing is now out there, or will be out there within the week. That's going to come out on Thursday. Then, other background things. For those of you who watch these streams on Twitch, I spent some time in the middle of the night the other night while I was supposed to be doing another task. I went and changed all the panels on Twitch and made them much simpler. So if it's any link that you can get to through my card, like my contact card, I'm saying ERD because there's two R's in card, you can now just click that panel and it will take you to all my social links. The only thing that card doesn't natively link to is the backloggery, so I kept that panel if you want to look at the list of games that I have. I do try to, though a lot of the times on Friday I don't actually get to it for one reason or another. I do try to update my backloggery at least once a week so you know what I'm playing and you get a sort of a sneak peek as to what I'm working on. I actually definitely need to put on there that I've been playing the Lost Golem, and I did not do that. I should. The Lost Golem should 100% be on there because I'm now done with it. But as the videos release, I think there's, if you include this week, I think there's 5 more weeks of episodes because it's 1 episode a week for that Let's Play. So I have been playing it, but I am now actually done with the game. I beat it over the weekend, and it was an incredible slog. The last episode is just me screaming because the buttons stopped working. It's not that they changed. It's that the basic controls for the game just stopped working on the 100th stage. My controller is totally fine. Everything was totally fine. Game just stopped accepting the commands in like a, hey, you're going to stay here forever. You're never escaping us. And I was just getting angrier and angrier because there's no way you're going to stop me at stage 100. Okay? There's no way you're going to stop me. I'm finishing this game. So the 100th stage is a lot of screaming, and that will be out eventually. However, if you become a YouTube member, you will get early access to those videos, so you will get them hopefully a couple weeks before they release to the general public. Hopefully. I did want to get out there that I changed all the panels on Twitch. Bloop. Because there was, I had on my task list for the longest time, it was add a panel for Redbubble to Twitch. And then I was like, you know what? I hated that my Twitch panels haven't been symmetrical for years and years and years. And I was like, yo, I know I can't get symmetrical at this point, but I can definitely tweak these. So I went in and tweaked them a bit. And now it is complete. That's every social link you might need to use for me. I think I even re-added Steam, which I don't think anyone's ever used. But that link actually helps me when I go in for a playtest or something and they're like, what's your Steam ID? Give us your link. And I'm like, what's up, Grim? You came to hear about artificer spells and guns and stuff, didn't you? You can't see my eyebrows raising, but I know you can feel it. I know you can feel it. Ah, you'll catch up eventually. Wait. Oh, from just joining the stream? Yeah. I was like, I didn't hit the add button. I frequently forget to hit the add button. Oh, speaking of that, speaking of ads, not a regular channel ad or anything, but one of the things I had asked the community about was how they would like me to do the thank you streams for YouTube members and patrons and Twitch subscribers and all that. And one of the ideas is definitely to play games with the community at some point. But I will be doing a stream on Sunday. That is the 26th? Question mark? Yeah. uh, where I'm just gonna I'm gonna work on some clerical stuff and chat with you all for at least the first one. That's not to say the whole stream will be that. Maybe we switch over to a video game at some point. But the first thank you stream will be there because I have people to thank for being patrons and YouTube members and all that jazz. And yeah, I have wanted to do this for a while, and I feel bad that I didn't start earlier. But yeah, and I didn't think I could really run it like Mac from Orthobuy runs his thank you videos, where it's just like he reads off some names and then does a thing. I don't know. I think it's better if I can sit and chat with you while I do it. And I'm not going to uh, set them so that only members and patrons can see or play the stream, what have you. I think that's silly. At least for now. Maybe later there'll be some special like hang out with us member stuff or patron stuff. But for right now, it will be a dual streamed thank you stream. You do? I mean, you don't have to. You can figure it out. Might give you some clues. Grimjack is one of the players whose characters had a vision that they were there for. I had just watched the Fisher Master's video earlier today, where he was answering questions from the community about like how to DM and advice and stuff. And one person was like, "Oh, how much prep is too much prep?" And he was like, "You should take some notes and then have a session and then use your notes, reread them to see how much of it was actually helpful for you. And like once you get to the point where your notes stop being helpful, stop taking notes." I was like, that's a good way to do it. But also, he was like, hey, make sure that you have notes for stuff that you're not going to remember when you're there, when you're in the moment. And that is way harder to predict than I think a lot of people think. Sure, there are things that like we're all naturally good or bad at, so we might get in the way. But like when you're in the session, you don't know what's going to make your players go off on a tangent or make them super excited. So that one is harder than you think. But I do think it is important to have some notes. But remember, a lot of it is improv. There's no way you're going to be able to plan out every situation that any of your players are going to go through, or rather, all of them. It's just not a possibility. So you can't write out notes that are too detailed anyway, because they will be useless. Hey, I built all of your visions. Okay, you guys heard that too. So there must be a tab that has Facebook open. Yup. Get out of here. Bye. I was like, I hear it. Don't know where it is. Yes. Yeah, that was just based on things. Actually, I will say one of the visions wasn't based on things your characters have said. What's up, Arvin? Aw. You know, as I get older, I've always been that person who just like suffers when they're sick. But as I get older, like I'm preempting being sick more and more often, where I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Ain't nobody got time to be sick and lethargic. I hope you are warm wherever you are. It is freezing over here. I actually turned up the heat in my house. Shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, only one of those visions was not based on things that player has said. Technically, I guess it's based on things they've done. Though, I guess through no real fault of their own. He. What's up, Shin?
I'm not really here, but I am. What is going on? YouTube, what is going on? Okami. How goes it?
Pretty okay, and you?
Enjoying the snow.
Mm.
You know. Yeah.
How many... I feel like this is the line that will be taken out of context, but how many inches did you get?
I did not check how many inches we got hit with.
Oh, Grim says hello. Also, he's on Twitch.
Grimbo.
We did not get the snowpocalypse that all the forecasters were telling us about. Definitely no snowpocalypse.
I kind of wish we got the snowpocalypse a little bit, not gonna lie. Hey, now to be feeling confident. I mean, listen, it was cold outside.
Oh yeah. But I did all my background stuff. I had some housekeeping to do. But for those of you on Twitch, you've got new panels to click and a much easier to navigate system for checking socials, I think, which will help in the long run.
Oh, okay.
Instead of making a new panel for Redbubble, I was like, why don't I just consolidate all the panels? And I was like, oh, that actually makes more sense anyway. I just linked my card.
Makes sense.
Oh my god, excuse me. I'm so gassy.
Is it all the excitement about the spells?
I think
Happy New Year, Sir Grim. Sir Grimbo. Grimbo slices I prefer.
I forgot who it was. I just had to explain to someone who Kimbo Slice was. And I was like, oh god. I don't y'all don't remember the era on the internet of hood fights? Like
Bum fights.
bum fights. There we go.
Was it great? I mean, no. No, we shouldn't be celebrating these bums just getting into straight up brawls, but it was bum fights.
It's like the heyday of World Star.
Yeah, no, bum fights preceded World Star, and it was bum fights was something you had to be alive to witness. Bum fights was a time in recorded human history at that, in which I'm not sure we were really thinking about humans. Because quite honestly, bum fights, glorious.
What's up, Awaz?
Hey.
Awaz, you will probably be the first to notice there's new links down there. Now you can get to all socials through the card, except Backloggery, because I don't know if any of you have ever used card as like your link list It's sort of an alternative to Linktree, but there's literally hundreds of specific icon links it has, and yet it doesn't have the backloggery. I'm like, yo, I think the vast majority of internet-enabled gamers who have been here for a while all have a backloggery.
Yeah.
Do we use it
Yeah, sure.
regularly? Probably not.
No.
But
No,
we all have
I
fun.
haven't used it. I haven't used it since I signed up for it. But I have the account.
It's a great tool to make sure you don't buy the same game twice. That is the only reason why I use it.
See, I don't run into that issue personally, but on the off chance that was a potential issue of mine, it could come in handy.
Ooh, I hope you're eating something good. I had leftovers. I'm gonna eat leftovers for like the next 3 weeks, I'm sure. That's fine.
That's an absurd amount of time to eat leftovers.
The good news is my mom and her husband are supposed to leave on Saturday, so I assume they're just gonna give me all their food again.
Oh,
But then
where are they headed to now?
They're heading over to Arizona. We'll be free for a little while. Unfortunately, the Banshee won't also leave.
What?
So I gotta wait. I'm like, no, you don't have to. You can go with them. They could strap you to the side of the car and you could just scream the whole way there. That's fine.
Oh, is the Banshee sticking around for a bit?
Yeah. I'm like, damn it.
Why can't they take her with you?
I don't know. The worst. It's the worst.
They can take the Banshee.
Ooh, also, if you are getting takeout and you have a Chili's nearby, apparently some people who have the Uber Eats app are getting $20 off. I didn't, but Jack DT did. I was like, wow, rude. What is this weird racism? Is this prejudice?
I'm currently having a battle with my Grubhub driver because they have decided that they think they've delivered my food, but they have not in fact picked up the food, and I'm watching it. It's like I'm watching the thing and I'm like, hey, you haven't picked up the food, and they're like, it's gonna be there in 15 minutes, and I'm like, you said that 35 minutes ago.
Ugh.
No, and I was just like, so what do I do if it doesn't show up in 15 minutes? They're like, come back and talk to us. And in my head, I'm like, of all the things I'd want to do, coming back to talk to you is not one of them.
Fair. Today, we're going to be taking a look at what started originally as Artificer-specific spells, because we're coming off... I figured since we were coming off Archibald's Archive, this would be good. But it actually ended up being everything about guns and projectiles. Because it's sort of semi-related-ish. They're also... It's supposed to be a spells episode, but some of these have items at the end. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care about 1 or 2 items, it's fine.
Yeah, we can glance through 1 or 2 items, I think.
I'm not sure how late DM Lacara is going to be, so I'm probably just going to start without her. And usually when I say that, she shows up immediately. I was hoping that was what was going to happen, but I'm sure it'll be soon.
I thought you were channeling that hidden ability that just like activates her spawn token.
But
it's like, oh, it's like, the conditions have been met. One moment as we summon DM Lacara.
For those of you on YouTube, you can follow along with us by clicking the links in the description. For those of you on Twitch, I'm going to throw the link up, bloop, and then I'm going to pin it for the 30 minutes, or the next 30 minutes. And then after that, it'll unpin, and we'll probably have moved on to the next one. And for those of you in the roundtable, I'm going to throw it up there too. A bloop. Oh, I think this is actually the... I may have just shared the link to the picture.
Oh.
instead of the other one.
Yep, just the picture. Hold on, but can I get to the post from the link at the bottom?
My
Yes,
bad.
I can. Okay.
Okay, cool. That's fine then. I'll just
It's just 2 pages, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then yes, I am in there.
My bad. I was like, oh, I'm gonna bring this up because I know it's one of them weird Reddit things where if you bring up the image in a new tab, it's like, here's the image. Now I'm gonna mess up all your formatting. And I was like, whatever, I'm gonna do this early just to make sure that the formatting is readable. So yes, this is Unfired Arcana, which is kind of a really cool way to describe like unearthed arcana if you're using artificers and stuff. I was like, points to you, bud. Points to you. And the first thing on here is, hey, this was made with 2014 rules in mind. If you want to use 2024 rules, there are 2 things that you can change. You can set Arcane Gadget. Instead of selecting the cantrip from a class's spell list, you can select it from Arcane, Divine, or Primal because the spells are now separated into groups to supposedly make it easier for people. We'll see.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And
That's a
then, oh, no, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say that's a bulky allegation to say that
Yeah.
you've made things easier.
The second part is, hey, when you use this spell modify weapon, you can also change a mastery property with a weapon. A lot of them, not a lot. I don't know if you want to call it a lot of them, but many of the weapon masteries are set to that specific weapon. But in some cases, there might be 1 or 2 that you can choose. So you can do that. I have also noticed that if you make an item on D&D Beyond, like a magic item weapon, even if you're using 2014 stats, when you hit go, it just gives that weapon the base weapon's mastery property now, which I'm sure will be very confusing.
Yeah, I can already foresee that.
But would you like to take Arcane Gadget, our first spell? Because I've been talking a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I am a-okay taking on the Arcane Gadget. If you're taking the Arcane Gadget spell, you will first note that it is a 2nd level transmutation spell. Interesting that it's not in like level order. I don't expect it to be, but I kind of personally prefer when things are in level order. I
I
feel like it
wish
just
they
makes.
would just pick a thing because this is not in level or alphabetical order.
Oh, that's just extra frustrating. That's now
Help
now my
us.
pet peeves are just kicked in. No. Um
Oh, actually,
that
it
being
is
said,
technically in alphabetical order. Sorry, that's my B. I can't spell apparently.
okay, there's some saving grace then. Though I still would take a level order or an alphabetical order in my personal opinion. That being said, Arcane Gadget being a 2nd level transmutation spell, ritual cast by an artificer has a casting time of 10 minutes, and interestingly enough, it's going to require 100 gold of raw materials that the spell consumes. So automatically, you're not just getting this at 3rd level and going, oh, look what I can do. You're still going to have to cough up a good chunk of money. Listen, 100 gold at that level is not a little amount.
Mm-mm.
You gotta think at a 3rd level, 100 gold. If you're getting that in a quest, you don't have 100 gold worth of stuff to give up.
That's like the whole party's payment.
Yeah, especially 2nd level spell casting. It notes that it's a duration of 24 hours, and that using your tools and whatever materials you have on hand, you can construct a magical gizmo that anyone can use. It goes into this cantrip. When you cast the spell, choose 1 cantrip from any class spell list to imbue into the gadget. The cantrip must have a cast time of an action and cannot have a material component that's used to cast it. A creature holding the gadget can cast this cantrip without providing material components. It uses your spell casting Okay, so you essentially make a magical gizmo that is a pocket cantrip or like a pocket wand. Interesting.
All I can think of is you just gave that guy a firebolt gun for 24 hours.
Why? Nobody knows. Probably not your best idea. But it uses your spellcasting modifier and proficiency bonus in place of the casters.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it notes that the gadget's appearance resembles a tiny object of your choice. You choose how it produces the spell effect, and a gadget that casts this. Oh, so it's actually got special things. Gadget that casts the dancing light cantrip might resemble an ornate lighter, whereas a acid splash cantrip might resemble a pouch that produce flasks of acid to throw. That is petrifying.
I was gonna make it
flask,
cute. This is not cute.
a flask, a pouch of flasks of acid, just appearing.
Just infinite. Every 6
Infinite
seconds.
flash.
I was thinking you make it look like something that's not a weapon. So it's like a book, and then you open it, and it blinds people. And they're like, what the? Ah!
No,
And then you do it again, and they're like, ah, stop it!
not here. Not here. We have infinite flask. We have a nigh infinite flask of acid.
You have to make one of those clown hand buzzer things and put shocking grasp on it. You have to. You cannot not do that.
You become evil. You become the Joker. And then you can end the spell. To end the spell, the gadget falls apart. Once it's fallen apart, obviously, you will have to wait some time to reuse the cast. You can produce a number of gadgets, however, from the spell up to half your proficiency bonus rounded down. So you can make multiple gadgets that will just zip, zoop, zap people.
Also, the fact that they say you can reuse them tells me that this is not the way that they wrote components in that it consumes them. That is not what consume means within the context of 5e. I mean, it uses them and you can't use the same set multiple times. But if you could just reuse them after the 24 hours, then it is not technically consumed.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this yet, but it does seem a little overpowered.
A lot of the comments on this are like, "Oh, I feel like you've changed the artificer specific features into spells." And the people in the comments were like, "Well, all of these require technically two people to really use properly. So it may seem overpowered, but it's not like you're going to be dual wielding your acid pouch and your firebolt gun or your shocking grasp buzzer at the same time. Like, you still need your party to be there. So I guess it makes some sense that it costs so much because it's like your party is paying for it, kind of.
Mm.
Like, it's not just you that's doing this to become super powerful.
Fair enough.
I also,
Mm.
hmm. Does this mean it is only cast as a ritual? Because usually
Yeah,
ritual
that's what
tag
I'm.
means you can do it as a ritual or a regular thing.
I get the feeling though that the nature of this spell, it's only ritual cast.
2 month subscription! Thank you, AWAS.
Ah!
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Gotta put you in the button. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't even know what we do in this situation.
We changed the numbers because on Sunday I'm gonna do a thank you stream for all the patrons and the Twitch subs and the YouTube members, and I'm gonna have your name slide across the screen while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm hoping it turns out okay, but we shall see. I may just crash OBS over and over again as I say scroll my text. Wouldn't be the first time. Scroll my text. Help me. I think I have to gigantify a little dancer. Oh, it's good times.
Oh no.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think because it takes so long, it has to be a ritual.
Like, you're not going to get to pull this off in battle.
Mm-mm.
Your party is not going to protect you for 10 minutes. And 10 minutes in battle is a ridiculous amount of time.
Oh yeah. What is that? 600 turns? No,
Mm-hmm.
6,000 turns.
Yeah.
Actual torture chamber.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Not even on my worst day.
So then if this doesn't come as part of some class feature or subclass feature, this is taking up a slot that like you won't be using in battle. This is before the battle. And we're all suggesting damage type cantrips and imbuing stuff, but you could just have like a pair of scissors that you put mending on, and you have someone that looks like they're cutting something, but they're putting something back together.
Ooh.
Just to really confuse the people around you.
Somebody can go invisible, have one of these, and just have predigestation, and just keep throwing weird effects off in the corners.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, yeah. I really like this.
Yeah, you could, and I think that the fact that they're in gadgets means that there's some trap aspect to it that you could set up. Like, you want to protect your bastion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said it.
Continue.
Well, you set up a bunch of these. You set up a bunch of these gadgets that you've created for the day with mold earth. When they step over the mold earth, it molds into a pit. Remember, it can excavate an amount of earth instantly. You just have these trigger going off and just dropping somebody down into a molded earth.
Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna do this instead. No, I'm gonna do it this way. This is easier. No, stop typing in bold. There we go. Actually, this is gonna be second level, but I know that there's first levels in here. This just helps me format the spell groups a little better. Nope, don't want that. There we go. There you go.
Looking better.
Arcane gadget. And I think also I'm okay with this one specifically being artificer only because you're building it.
Oh no, this can't go to another cleric. Or just like a cleric, this can't go to any of the druids. Like this is locked into the artificer. 1000%.
Any cantrip you want. And you basically build whatever you want. So it could be a pen that you put something on. It could be a pencil that you put prestidigitation on. So it looks like you're drawing something and then something happens. Oh, that's actually really cool. That's really cool. Oh my God. There's so many applications for this. 100 gold is a lot of stuff for sure. But if you take it from the assumption that you need someone else for this to really work, I guess you could use one thing. But once you get higher than, once your proficiency bonus goes up enough that you can make more than one thing, it's like your team is sort of paying to help make sure that they all have access to something. Because once you reach level 5, too, the cantrip is going to get more powerful if it's an attack cantrip or if it's something that does get better when you get to level 5 as well. Since it's using your stats. You could, if you're like top level, you might give this to a bunch of farmhands that need to protect the ranch that have no other way to defend
Mm.
themselves. You're just like, take this. It's got my spellcasting modifier. And it's like, here you go, here you go. You could be Jubilee, though. Hey, you
You
could
could.
if you wanted to. I'm throwing this one in the repository. I think this one's okay. Give somebody a cantrip, let them sort it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next one. First level transmutation spell for Artificer. Modify weapon. You need Tinker's tools or Smith's tools.
Interesting component. Makes sense, but interesting component.
I'm weirded out that it says at least 1 SP because I'm pretty sure all the sets are that much. Like, you didn't need to add that part. This one takes 1 minute to cast, so again, you're not using this in combat. You
Yeah,
are.
this is pre-combat.
Yeah.
This is.
It does last you 8 hours, so maybe you could have a couple combats with this. But you touch a simple or martial weapon and imbue it with one of the following mods. You can change the damage type. Oh, I see the way it's written. One of the comments was like, bro, you gotta accept the way that we write things. Like, there's an accepted convention for how to write things out, and I think you just have to get on board with it. And I was like, that's a real like weird way to say, hey man, this is hard to read, but I get
Yeah.
you, I get it. Um, so you either get to do damage type or property. You don't actually get both. Oh, there's more. Or you could do repeating or returning. Okay, we're gonna get to that. So you can change the damage type. You can replace one, so it needs to have one at least between finesse, heavy, light, reach, thrown, and two-handed. And if you do grant something thrown, like if you have a great sword, for example, it gains a short range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet, which is pretty good for a great sword or a great hammer.
Yeah. Great hammer with 60 feet. I think I'm a little petrified. Just yeeting a great hammer through the sky.
This is okay. This part you can add repeating if it has the ammunition property. You can make it produce and load its own ammunition for 8 hours. And it isn't considered magical, but it's loading. It's, I guess you're supposed to be playing it off that you like built a belt to feed your crossbow. I guess, but that's saying that it produces and loads its own ammunition is crazy. And if it is thrown, you can make it return. That's hilarious. but you can only add one mod at a time. One of the people in the comments was like, I don't like that you can give a weapon all these effects. And someone was like, no. You can only give one effect to a new item. Yeah. Returning, you throw it. Even if you miss, it comes back, which is crazy because a lot of boomerang type magic items, if you miss, they don't come back. It has to hit. And then repeating, it says you make it so that this weapon can now produce and load its own ammunition. Loading its own is the belt. Now that I think about it, the produce is not the belt. The produce is there's a tiny factory at the end of the belt that's feeding in crossbow bolts. Like, what? What?
I'm more worried about the arrow where the quiver is just filling the bow.
That too. What?
It's just like
Eh.
it's like, wait, when did your arrows get the vacuum effect and just magnetize into your hand?
Okay, I'm gonna say in most people's games, most people aren't like numbering their ammunition, but if you have a like in my campaign, the way I run it is the people who don't have any abilities where ammo matters, we're just going to assume that they're stocking up on arrows or they're making them in their downtime. But like Goblin Slayer specifically, we know he's going to get an ability later on where if he hits a target with a ranged attack, for as much ammunition as he has, he can hit other targets within like a 10-foot area of that first one. So like you're the only one where it's going to matter that we need to match your ammo. But if you gave repeating to someone with that ability, every turn, just on the whole battlefield, just
yeah.
That one is scary. And even though it doesn't say it makes your weapon magical, if it's producing ammunition, it's spawning it into existence. It is definitely magical now.
Yeah, I would have a hard time having someone argue against that not being magical. There's just too much. I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh, Van Helsing. Oh, so good. So good.
Ooh, the Van Helsing auto repeating crossbow gun. Yes.
I do like this one. I just think it needs some tweaks because you're definitely giving someone like any of these properties. I'm sure there is a physical mechanical way you can make your swords or knives return to you. Like you could say, "Oh, I have a string attached to all my knives or something." But like producing its own ammunition, that has to be magical. And changing the damage type because it wears off in an hour, that tells me it's either about to collapse. I mean, it wears off in 8 hours. Like, sure, you could put a new like you could put a flat plane on the end of your axe, and now it deals bludgeoning damage. That one, I can see mechanically working, but some of these other ones, or even like the property, like suddenly making your weapon weigh less, that has to be magical in nature.
Oh, 1,000. That absolutely has to be. I would argue heavily that it has to be by law.
So I'm gonna put this in the repository, but add that it makes your weapon magical for the duration.
No radio damage, no, but we get garlic pellets. all of our super powered auto refill crossbow bolts are covered in garlic.
I actually don't think this is. I may have to edit later how I wrote in the addition. Oh, no, it's at the end. Okay. Gotcha. Want to keep my formatting for this to make it easy for other people. Because this isn't just for me. It's for all you guys out there, too.
Bloop. Puts a lot of hard work into this, folks.
Beep. Yeah.
All right. He does a good job.
I try.
Proud of you.
Thanks, man. Would you like to take quick crafting?
I'll be happy to take some quick crafting. When you're not in the mood for dealing with everything else and you've got a first level spell lying around, another 10-minute. So I'm noticing that the theme of these spells is you need to set this up way beforehand. Like 10-minute casting time. Requires a set of artisan tools. Once again, at least a silver point piece. But the duration is instantaneous. Working quickly, you produce up to 6 items of your choice from the adventuring gear table in the player's handbook, which combined cost can't exceed 50 gold. The items you produce are crude, can't be sold, and you only have one batch of items from the spell at a time. This is... Is this the auto store?
Yeah. I don't... I understand the caveat that the items you produce are crude and cannot be sold. There's plenty of people selling garbage. And they last forever. You're telling me an adventurer that's trapped, he's been stuck on the mountain, maybe he's the last one left of his whole group, he's not going to take a crude tool because it's crude? I know we're supposed to be heroes and you should just give him the tool. But when people are desperate, they will buy. I feel like this just creates problems.
Yeah. At higher levels, the amount of gear you can produce increases when you cast the spell at higher levels. So it's a level 1 spell, so automatically it's easier to spell cast as higher levels. Each level slot above the first, the maximum number of items you can produce increases by 2, and the maximum total cost increases by 50. So you're saying, on the off chance you happen to have just like a 6-level spell slot just lying around before the end of the day, you can produce a 300 gold item. 12 of a 300 gold item.
This is... Yeah, this one in particular is creating way too many problems. I wouldn't put that in there.
Maybe I'm misreading it though. Maybe I'm not.
I think total it would be worth 300, which is still like any item on the... You know what? Let's look up adventuring gear table. Bloop. Thanks. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is not the way I wanted to look at it. Thanks, bro. Adventuring gear. Here we go. So you can just... Yeah, you can make yourself ammunition. That's part of the adventuring gear table.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make yourself ammunition. You can make yourself a new arcane focus, or a druidic focus, or a holy symbol, and then... Oh, you can make... I'm angry at this. You can make Alchemist's Fire and antitoxins and...
Yeah.
What else is expensive?
You can make a lot. You can get greater healing. You can just craft potions. Batch of 12 potions coming right up.
Okay, no, this is too much.
Batch of oil coming right up. Holy water, mass produced. Good luck throwing somebody in any tombs of anything with 10 minutes to spare.
Yeah. They're getting out.
Yeah. The undead are here. Oh, I've been waiting. Why is the artificer? Because he's been every night, every time they've stopped and right before they rest, if he's got extra spell slots of high levels of cake cooked up, he's just sitting there. Because that's what I would do. If I was the artificer of the campaign with this spell, every night before I go to sleep, I'm working out with my DM that I am just casting this spell at high level and burning my spell slots before a long rest.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I don't give a damn. I'm just they're gonna see sparks flying out. Call me Tony Spark. Because I am crafting up a breeze.
Oh, call me Tony Spark. I hate you.
Alright. I am crafting everything under the sun. I don't care either.
Like, there's no reason for any player who has this specific spell at the end of the day, if they have any slots left, to just keep making stuff. Even if they're not selling it, they're 100% still gaming the system.
Yes.
I don't feel like going in and adding a bajillion rules for this specific spell, so I'm just gonna leave it at the repository. Bloop. Yeah. That's crazy powerful. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we won't take the third level spell. We'll have to see. There is one. There you are. Hello.
Oh.
Hey.
Would you like to take the final spell in Unfired Arcana?
Sure. Yeah, let me open the link, seeing as how I just got here.
We just went over a spell that just lets you craft things from the adventuring gear table.
Oh, that's fun.
6 of them at level 1. And then for
Holy
every level
moly.
you go up, add more and more and more. It says you can't sell them, but like if you're technically, potions are on the adventuring gear table, so's acid and poison and
That's insanely OP.
yeah, for a first level spell.
Just whatever you want to make. Mass produced. Right before
wow.
bed.
But yes, hello,
Okay.
how are you? I'm sorry. I was like, we're gonna get to we can get you in on this. One of us doesn't have to take
it. That's okay. You guys can do it if you want, because I'm looking at it and the only thing I see is arcane gadget and modify weapon. Am I looking at the wrong thing?
Oh,
we're on the second page.
I shared the picture of the first one, so click the yeah. But we're on the second page at the moment.
We're on the second page. Wait. So how do I get to?
On the bottom.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Got it.
That was my bad. The YouTube description has the correct
internet.
link.
I can website. Okay. Fair warning, I can't words tonight.
It's all gravy. Don't worry about it.
I haven't been able to words all day. Okay, recharge item. Is that what we're up to? Alright. Third level transmutation, casting time 1 minute, touch, VSM, lead foil soaked in vinegar. That. Ugh.
How hard is it to get vinegar in this world?
That is a good.
I'm gonna say that's gotta be pretty hard in like normal fantasy world.
Why? All you have to do is let wine sit out too long. I mean, I would think lead foil would be harder.
Oh, that too.
By channeling arcane energy into a common or uncommon magic item, you restore some of its magical power. The item regains a number of charges equal to half its maximum rounded down. And then at higher levels, so if you upcast 5th level or higher, you can also target a rare magic item. Does it
Oh.
go straight from common to rare? Or uncommon to rare, rather?
I think so.
From my understanding, yes.
I don't remember how
Don't
this. Yeah.
quote me. I'm gonna be very honest.
Oh wait, I have a.
You have a thing.
Oh, true. I wouldn't have thought of. I was thinking of like pickles and stuff.
What?
You and I had the same reaction to that.
Yeah. Well, whenever someone says get vinegar, I'm like pickles, like vinegared things.
That makes sense. That's just not where my brain goes first.
You and Awaz are on the same wavelength. Me and Shin are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I think it is in here. I have nope. Is it in this?
Yeah,
one?
I'm with Awaz on this one. It's literally ferment something and then let it sit out too long. Here, there.
Yep, it's common, uncommon, rare, very rare, legendary. I think by that token though, if they want to set it to, I forgot who made this one. Sorry, the only name that I'm remembering from this group is the last one, because the creator of it is named Chocolate Thunda, and I'm not gonna forget that. That's just not gonna happen. But if you go the every 2 levels, then shouldn't you be able to do very rare if you use 7th? Though I guess that means it's going to be super powerful, though, probably.
A little bit.
Yeah, because at a certain point you hit magic items that don't recharge.
Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, that's true, you do. That's very true, you do. But the implication of this alone helps out with regularly balanced out items, I feel like items that are kind of balanced because they have a limited amount of time per day.
Yeah.
Like this falsely extends and for 3rd level, which can be high, which can be upcast at that. That's scary.
That's powerful.
If you're a full caster, you're going to get this at level 5. You're going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be like a really high-powered magic world. Otherwise, you're just like breaking the game.
I might have to. I feel like this shouldn't be 3rd level. I was thinking maybe 5th, but then that's just you won't be using common or uncommon. I think that's what they were going for.
Or you add a downside to it.
Ooh.
Like you have to do it at the expense of additional spell slots or trade some of your health or like something.
Ooh. When the item comes to its recharge time, you only get half of what you roll.
Yeah. Something like that.
So like you're getting it now early, but you're probably going to lose them later.
Yeah.
I think that works.
Also, apologies if it sounds like I'm breathing heavily. My kid managed to track orange marker goo all over my floor.
Oh, fun.
I'm also still trying to cook, but I can't do that because the floor is literally an orange minefield right now.
Oh,
So Were all the spells in this set this overpowered?
They're either oddly, I don't want to call them overpowered, because in the hands of someone who doesn't think, it isn't. In the
Okay,
hands
you can
of,
say that about anything.
well, no. What I mean by it is these are overpowered spells for someone who's truly trying to break the game. Like if
In
you're
the
just
right
trying to
hands.
be an artificer in
Yeah.
a game and you have these spells and you just use them at a regular pace,
Yeah.
they can be broken, but
But it's probably
be
fine.
yeah, it'll be with application.
Mm.
For the psychotic game-breaking player who is looking to turn your game into their sandbox mode of Minecraft, these spells are way too powerful, because I think that's what these spells become. You can just quick craft a bunch of stuff, recharge magic items on short rests. You can literally take 10 minutes to just rapid fire cast everything you need. And on top of it, the first spell is a ritual, which means it technically uses 0 spell slots.
Yeah, it doesn't use your spell slots.
Because it's ritual cast. So you can ritually create a number of gadgets equal to your proficiency bonus per day.
Okay, well, I mean, that's not that crazy. Like, your proficiency bonus never gets that high.
And they all can cast a cantrip for free.
All what can cast a cantrip for free?
The gadgets you make.
The gadgets that you make.
Yeah, that's... I was with you up until that point.
Yeah, any cantrip. That you store the cantrip in it.
It doesn't have to be a cantrip you know?
Nope. Any cantrip. The only balancing is that you have to spend 100. You have to have 100. The way it's worded, it says 100 gold worth of raw materials, which a spell consumes. But at the end of the spell description, it says, "Oh, when the time is up, you can just reuse all those components." So technically, they're not being consumed. You just have to spend 100 once.
That's insane.
If they were being consumed, I think it would make more sense.
And what's the in-game motivation for you not being able to sell it? Like, you can't... Like, how do you explain that? Like, yeah, you just made this whole bunch of stuff, but what? It's, like, tied to you. If you try to hand it to somebody else, it just reappears in your bag?
The tools... Yeah.
Number of them.
Yeah. The tools are crude and can't be sold. And we were like, I'm sure there's a goblin who would buy it, or a desperate adventurer somewhere. Like, there's no way you're not.
Cast the cantrip. Who cares how crude it is if it can do magic?
The arcane gadgets only last 24 hours. Your adventuring gear lasts forever.
Oh, okay. The adventuring gear can't cast cantrips.
Yeah.
Can't cast cantrips. Say that 5 times fast.
Wait a minute, that is complicated.
I feel like I'm reading Dr. Seuss over here.
You're right. I think it says if it consumes if the gadget consumes your 100 gold, I think that makes sense, because otherwise you're just giving people at least a cantrip for free every day.
Yeah, you are. As long as each party member can hand you 100 gold worth of stuff, you're creating for them a once-a-day cantrip. They just have to tell you what cantrip you want. Hey, what cantrip do you want today? In your gadget. All right, cool. What am I doing in the morning when I wake up?
Or know it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm giving the barbarian blade green flame blade.
I was just there's a in one Joe Cat's campaigns, one of the player characters was basically evil Jeff Bezos, And
It'll be redundant.
yeah, he was named like Feb Zazos or something. But I was thinking if he was the artificer, he would just be like, "Yes, give me your $100. I'll give you your item." And every day he'd be like, "Yes, give me your $100. I'll give you your item. Give me your $100.
Oh, so it's
I'll give you-"
Amazon. He
Yeah.
recreated fantasy Amazon.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh man. Oh, now that I think about it. Yeah, you're right. Since you're not using a slot, you can only do it once or twice. Just gotta hope that your Arcane Gauge is level 2. You gotta hope your players aren't getting a lot of money.
God forbid they raid a place.
Or skin any werewolves.
Oh my god. Oh, those werewolves, they get the skin in werewolves.
It always comes back to skinning werewolves.
God.
And it always will.
God, I hope
Never
they don't
forget.
find a giant werewolf skin out there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That'll get real messy.
Oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, that was Unfired Arcana by Chunky Lubber 54. I wasn't gonna remember that.
I don't think you're meant to.
What level?
I don't think
Burning
he's doing
Hands second level? Question mark? I think Burning
What's
Hands is
that?
second level.
Burning Hands is a first level.
Oh,
A
first
second.
level, you're right.
Oh.
I mean, you could do Firebolt instead. That's the cantrip.
True. You could.
Ew. Yep, Ray of Frost you could do instead of instead of Firebolt. I
But it
can't
touches
word
me.
either. Yeah. It happens. All right. Next up is a much quicker thing to go through. This is Gunslinging Spells by MonkeyDM.
Oh, I think we know someone whose ears perked up.
I hope he's still here. He better be. This is all about you, bud. This is all for you.
I did this for you.
He was here at the beginning.
It's like we literally are here for you.
For those of you on YouTube, you can follow along by clicking the link in the description. Those of you on Twitch, I threw it up and then pinned it for the next 30 minutes, but there's only 2 spells here, so we're probably not going to take no 30 minutes to finish this. We'll see. Maybe we will. You never know. This is Gunslinging Spells. Cowboys from Hell.
The name of the first one.
I know, I love it. It's so good. And I'm going to change the music to a song called Gunshots.
I love the fact that so there's another person that you and I know that literally the image, because they played this deck in Commander against their Gearson deck.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, that zoomed in way further than I was expecting it to.
Right?
Okay,
It's like so high res.
Monkey, calm down, okay? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's so big. Calm down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you want to take the first one, DM Lacara?
Sure. I'm about to get my hands all wontony.
Delicious.
Dwarven Standoff. First level enchantment. 1 bonus action. I love me a good bonus action spell. Choose a creature within range. It must make a charisma saving throw. On a failure, you and the creature both enter a standoff until the start of your next turn. While in a standoff, both your speeds become 0 and you have disadvantage on perception checks to perceive creatures other than each other, and disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures that aren't each other. I only have one question. Why is it a dwarven standoff?
Huh.
What
Especially
makes
that
that
it's
different
60
from a
feet.
standoff with anyone else?
If it was close range, like 20 feet, I could understand it being dwarven standoff because you're gonna throw axes. But like,
I was thinking very dangerous over short distances, but yeah, same.
oh yeah, that too. Well, because your speed becomes 0, so you gotta hit him with range.
Yeah. I don't get it, but I love the name of it. I want there to be flavor there to explain it. I want it to
Yeah.
be like,
I need some quirky, like, in quotes, Discworld level of stupidity in definition of why it's called a dwarf. Like, tell me about the first 2 dwarves who tried to settle their problems at 60 feet with blunderbusses and learned it was a failed attempt.
yeah. Yeah, I want this to be like the thing where, like, if you throw a bunch of seeds in front of a vampire, they have to stop to pick them up. Like,
Mhm.
I want that to be like the
Yes,
explanation for this.
yes. Oh. So,
Speaking of Discworld, I'm literally reading the Vampire Discworld one right now.
Oh hell yeah!
I made that joke this past Halloween,
Yeah.
and someone didn't understand because there was a group of people at the bar that my girlfriend and I went to for Halloween, and at the time we were in there, I saw the vampires, and one of the guys I knew, like, he was into stuff like Discworld. Like, I figured he might be into Discworld, so I saw him and I was like, I compel you. And I just, like, pretended to throw seeds on the ground. He's like, are those... Wait, what did you throw? And, like, it took him a minute. And he goes, did you just throw seeds? Did you?
You're like, yes.
I was like, yes. He goes, you dirty bastard. He goes, how dare you compel me to pick up these seeds?
And everyone else is looking around super confused.
Oh, like, mortified in confusion. Meanwhile, this guy and I are cackling wholeheartedly. I'm just
That
like,
is fantastic. And that's not just Discworld either. They reference that in the X-File, the funny X-File episode with the vampires, where they end up in that, like, backwoods town.
oh,
And the pizza kid. Oh my god, the pizza delivery boy is like the, like, main bad guy in that episode. And at one point, Mulder he was eating sunflower seeds, and he throws them, and the kid's like, "Oh man, why'd you have to do that?" And he has to stop and pick him up. It's brilliant. It's one of the best episodes ever.
Oh, I need to go back and find this.
Dried red beans. I always hear.
I believe it was season 5.
Okay,
Not that it's one of my favorite episodes or anything.
Rice.
Yep, rice.
Or grains of salt. I was like, but what if you're really into that nice? It doesn't know. Somebody could be really into those big, chunky, pink Himalayan salts. That's not that won't stop the vampire for as long.
No.
It's about quantity, not quality.
I would say I'm thinking specifically of the Genasi sorcerers, but they don't necessarily have to be. I was thinking I also might give Dwarven Standoff to a sorcerer.
Maybe for, like, a sorcerer if it's like a cantrip off.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to use, like, Firebolt or Ray of Frost or something like that.
God, that's frightening.
Of course, I immediately went standoff finger guns. Immediately.
That's, like, so weak, though. Like, are you seriously gonna burn a first level spell to then toss, like, a mote of fire at someone?
Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes,
I
but
mean, I could see it as like a last ditch thing, like one of your hard hitters is like on the ground and you need to occupy the bad guy until the healer can pick them up.
mhm.
But like, that's like a very specific situation.
Oh, and it only lasts 1 round, I just realized.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
This is not like Compelled Duel.
Mm-mm.
Oh, wait a
Oh.
minute. That changes a lot.
Yeah, so like
That-
if you're in the initiative after the creature you're fighting, this is useless. Or no, sorry, the other way around. No, wait, hold on. I'll figure this out.
You can numbers. You
Mm.
can't words, but you can numbers.
You got this. You can math.
Just 1 round. Yeah, if they're because they won't be moving. Interesting. Very weird. I didn't realize it was 1 round until just now. Oh no. I need more time than that to shoot someone in the face.
Guys, it's been a really long time since I made wontons. This is not going well.
Oh, maybe if you upcast it, you increase the number of rounds.
I mean, it doesn't say that, but yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I would
There
improve
isn't one.
this.
Oh, to improve it, you would make it a different spell.
I don't-
Which then
yeah, I don't.
To improve it, quite honestly, at this point, you would make it a different spell.
Yeah, I don't.
just give someone access to Compelled Duel.
Yeah.
Like I would give this to. I would give this literally the same structure as Compelled Duel, except require it for range spells and range weapons only.
Mm-hmm.
And it would require you to both move to a compelled space before you could each fire your spell.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone casts this on you, you both like point at each other, like stand at attention, and then turn and walk a set distance.
Yep, like your 10
Each
paces
turn,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, you both are compelled to turn, and on that turn, you both have to use the action to fire at each other. And if
Yep.
you try to fire at something else, you have like disadvantage, and you
Yep.
take a penalty to hit. Like something like that. Just because you want it to seem like a standoff, you want it to seem like it's life or death, and this just doesn't give me life or death.
This just gives. I'm gonna freeze that guy in place.
Mhm.
Hopefully.
But shittily. I guess if they're gonna burn their action doing a perception check, it's helpful. But like usually it's not the ranger who's the one who's going to tank that many hits anyway.
No.
Interesting. Yeah. Once I read 1 round, I was like, ooh, not as good as I thought. Would you like to take Ricochet, DM Shin?
I would. Ricochet, not to be confused with the Mucha Lucha character, is a first level transmutation spell for rangers, sorcerers, and wizards, giving you a 1 reaction casting time. So, interestingly enough, this is a reaction spell, which is something you don't see a lot of. So, I'm excited to see what this could do. It's got 120-foot range. The only component it requires is a projectile. And when a projectile within range misses its target, you can magically ricochet off a nearby surface. You may choose a new target for the projectile within 30 feet of the original target, dealing the original attack's damage on a hit. So, here's the thing.
Ping, 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 Ricochet, rabbit.
A ranger makes sense.
I don't understand why sorcerer and wizard are there if it's a
Yeah.
projectile. It specifically says a ranged
And
attack
it's when it,
misses.
yeah, which means that it's not going to count for something like magic missile either.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
ranged weapon attack. Yeah. It comes from your weapon. So why? If anything, it should be ranger and fighter.
fighter.
Paladin, maybe?
I'll give it to the fighter who takes the because there is an archery, an arcane archer.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
I was thinking
I'll
that,
give it to
and when
archer.
you said paladin, I was like, okay, yes, but only so they can be like, once they miss with their crossbow, the projectile shoots past, and they're like, Lord God, take aim for me, and then you have like the bolt glow and bounce off something and
Jesus,
hit
take
somebody
the
else.
wheel.
Yeah,
So-
Jesus, take the wheel.
So in Pathfinder, in one of the Pathfinder games, there is a combination of god and class called it's a healing type cleric that uses a crossbow called a Chirurgeon, or I think that's how you pronounce it. It looks like surgeon and
Oh,
children,
uh-huh.
and literally you can power up your crossbow to shoot people for health.
Wait, like you heal them by shooting them?
Yeah, you can fire off healing with your crossbow.
That's interesting.
I saw it once and I was like, I want to try and replicate this. So now I'm thinking that you literally, as a paladin, can lay on hands your a sack of bolts as a certain paladin class, and fire those bolts as healing bolts or harmful bolts against the undead.
Oh, so you took that in a way more wholesome way than I was thinking for Paladin. I was thinking like Oath of Vengeance Paladin, where it's just like, nope, guess what? Even if I miss, I don't miss.
No, see, if I want to do the Oath of Vengeance Paladin, I would make it so that if the Paladin kills an enemy with a bolt, they can recover the bolt and fire that bolt, and it has a chance to not miss because it's literally harvest the soul of the thing they just killed, and they're using fire forward.
Or it uses that enemy's blood to seek out a similar enemy.
Mm-hmm. So like they're ripping the blood and the bolt out, and it's like a ritual pull. It's just fire again with that same bolt.
Oh, there's like a dark fire dancing along the shaft of the bolt. Yeah.
That's cool. All right, I'm gonna put Ricochet in the repository, but for fighter, ranger,
for the flavor
and
reasons
paladin.
we can get.
Yeah, not sorcerer and wizard. If it didn't say weapon attack, that it would be fine for sorcerer and wizard. But it's real weird for them to be in there when your sorcerer and wizard usually ain't shooting people with guns. Not when they have finger guns, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blink. First level. Going right after Martyr's Cloak, eh? Paladin getting some love. Grimbo, where are you?
He's gone off to the ether.
You're missing out on stuff made just for you, bud. I'm gonna make words one day. We have two sorcerers. One of them only throws knives. Started as a rogue, and then the other one finger guns all the time. So, actually now Eldritch blasts all the time. It's a Sorlock. Eldritch blast.
Okay, Sorlock makes sense. I'm trying to wrap my mind around a rogue sorcerer. I mean, I guess whatever it was that turned them into a sorcerer happened at some point.
They were there. It's our water genasi, and they haven't really had any magical powers until now-ish. They got their magical power unlocked, so they went sorcerer.
Interesting. I'm scared.
The genasi abilities aren't that great though.
Yeah, we had to, both of my genasis, we had to do some tweaks on them because they're pretty trash.
Yeah, because I read up on them for the new kind of genasi that are in our campaign, and I was like, these are awful. I'm making new ones.
When we started, I think campaign 2 or 3 of Critical Role was going on, and they had a genasi who had fire. I think their hair was on fire, and in 4E, all the genasi, their hair was an affectation of whatever
That
kind
element.
of genasi they were.
Yeah.
And so when we started playing, one of my players was describing their hair being water, and I was like, that's not how genasi work. And they started yelling at me, and they're like, no, that is how it works, because that's how they use them on Critical Role. And I was like, that would be a 4E genasi, if anything, and we were playing 5E. Now, we're going to move on to the Codex of Spellforce. Again, Grimbo, where are you? This is for you. This is 100% something that he suggested, too. For those of you on Twitch, posting it and pinning it. For those of you in the chat, boom, boom, boom. For those of you on YouTube, you click the links in the description to read up on the Codex of Spellforce by ArgenisDBarrios, who also has a Patreon, but does not update it. It seems like they were like, yo, I'm going to make mad spells and D&D content, and they did so for 3 months, and then they just disappeared. And I was like, I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you know where it doesn't happen? Here. On Okami's channel, where you're regularly updating the Patreon. You're consistently giving people content, and they can help out by doing a very simple thing. DM Lacara, what is it?
Everyone say it with me. Hit the buttons.
Hit the button.
Yeah. If you have money, hit the buttons that give Okami money. There are paid tiers on all of his stuff. He has all the links and things, but subscribe, give him money, do the things that give him money. If you do not have money, then hit the buttons to just generally subscribe, share it with your friends, help us spread the good word of Okami's content throughout the multiverse.
It helps us provide the flavor that WotC denies you. It helps us continue to fight the good fight against 2024 and the people who wrote the articles about it. And
we're a lot cheaper than WotC.
True.
We're way cheaper than WotC.
And we will never send the Pinkertons after you.
Yeah, we're way cheaper, have much less resources, and care far less for your adaptations and discussion.
We are, you know what we are? We're that store brand that you find of your favorite snack, and you buy at that time when you can't find the real brand, and then you eat it and you're like, oh my god, this is the same thing but better, and it was half the price. That's us. We are that shelf.
I'm Malto Meal cereal? Hell yeah.
We're a bag cereal.
Yep.
We're the bag cereal of D&D content, but you actually enjoy buying us. All right? We are your Frosty O's.
Yes.
So help us continue to help Okami. Stay out of keep yourselves out of the demi-plane of sludge.
Amen.
As DM Lacara said, press the buttons. And if you want to go above and beyond and help us out by using your body as a billboard, go to the Redbubble page and buy some of the cool merch made by the combining forces of DM Lacara and DM Okami, who have done a great job. DM Lacara doing her best and a damn good job at that, of giving us awesome designs for you to get on the Redbubble. Support the site, support the channel, support us, supporting Okami, supporting his dreams, doing what he loves, and having us join him because we love doing it too, and sharing it with you all. The eternal flavor of TTRPG.
Delicious. Apparently, T-shirts are 25% off again. I don't know how sales work on Redbubble, but I think it's by item sometimes.
You know the best way for people to find out? Buy stuff.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, buy something and let us know, because we
yes.
don't know.
Yeah.
The Redbubble help stuff for creators is shockingly bad. So,
I want to buy stuff, but I feel like the moment Okami sees who purchased it, he's going to yell at me.
no, I bought stuff.
Oh, okay, good. Then I'm buying stuff tonight.
Okay, I'm not gonna say no. I
But
still
seriously, people, it starts at like $2. There's like stickers up there that are like $2.
I still have no idea who #1 superfan in the UK is, but I want to give you a hug, whoever you are.
Well, you heard that here first. We got a hug for you. No, super.
Come meet us at a con, man. Or woman, I don't know. I have no idea. I think I can only see like what country you bought from, I think, if I recall correctly. I don't know. I'll go look it up later. Yeah, but
Yeah, if you're someone that cares about anonymity like me, like we don't see like names or addresses or anything in the store. It's like, hey, someone bought your stuff, and we're like, yay.
yeah.
That
Oh,
is the
we
sum
can
total of
tell
what we get.
what currency you used. That we can tell.
Yeah. So, buy in Bitcoin.
Yes.
I have a folder for the Earth Genasi that Robbie, oh my God, our friend Oxford Comma loves that guy. Robbie Damon ?
Oh, the
Earth Genasi. I have a folder for him. Ashton, that's the character's name. Because Amazon Fine was like, "Do you want to review this character folder?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
give it to someone I know.
Yeah, oh, okay. It's a folder. Had some cool stickers in it.
Folders well.
Yeah. Yeah. Boop. Get you out of here. Onto the Codex of Spellforce. I can zoom. It's on GM Binder, so I can zoom in real far. Excellent, excellent. I was looking at Repelling Spellmass earlier, which is the first spell here. It's a 4th level evocation.
Hell of a name.
It sounds so cool. And so you create 5 orbs of pure magical force. They hover and orbit above you for the spell's duration. For the duration, the magical orbs defend a 15-foot radius centered on you. When a creature first enters the area on a turn, one of the magical orbs propels itself towards them, and they must make a strength saving throw or take 4d8 force damage and be pushed 15 feet away from you on a failed save, or take half damage and aren't pushed on a successful one. And then you can upcast it, and every time you do, it goes up by 1d8 damage plus 5 feet for each spell level above 4th. However, the damage output of this and the way it is written, I think the original intention was that whenever an orb hits someone, it disappears, but the spell does not say that. So every turn, you can hit every single enemy and potentially push them away that's running at you for 10 minutes. So for...
I mean, I think that's just an oversight. Like, clearly those are supposed to dissipate.
Yeah.
It's like Melf's tiny meteors, like minute meteors. There we go. Yeah, that I'm sure they meant for those to disappear.
I'm like, 48 is a lot, my guy, if you're hitting everybody once.
I like that. I like that a lot.
We're gonna add in on the repository that they're supposed to dissipate.
It's like somebody had the same problem that I did with like Chaos Bolt.
Mm.
And it was like, no, you know what this needs?
I also, it says sorcerer and wizard. I feel like artificer could also use this.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe for the artificer, it's fewer of them, but they don't dissipate. Like you cast it by like taking these balls out of your pocket and throwing them up into the air.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Maybe make it that you have to use the arcane gadgets you created.
There you go.
Oh. We're gonna have to remake this
Cross
spell.
reference.
Yeah. Remake repelling spell mass for artificers. Oh, I like it. I like it.
Accidental flavor.
It's what everybody wants.
We're literally the Professor Utonium of D&D right now. We just keep breaking it.
Oh, I was like, where'd the music go? I turned it up real loud. Sorry, all those headphone users out there. My bad. I found the music. Where did it go? Oh, let me just. I don't know. I'm gonna start typing at the bottom, and then I'll fix it when I figure out where it's actually gonna go. Because I don't know if these are arranged in order. Because as we've seen from all of the spell things today, people just put them in any order they damn well please.
Mm-hmm. Driving me insane.
It's like, look, people, there's two main ways. Either do it by spell level or put it in alphabetical order, for the love of God.
Who wants to take... Okay, here's a question for me, pronunciation-wise. I've always said cestus, but I think this is supposed to be castus. It's the gauntlets that you hit people with.
I say cestus by default. I am prepared to be incorrect.
It
You know
looks
what?
like Latin.
Yeah.
If it is Latin, then it is always a hard C.
Okay,
It
so
would be
if it's Latin...
Caiustus.
Oh, okay.
Oh. You don't like this
Caiustus.
dictionary? You use cestus. Oh, cestus is the belt. So yeah, definitely not. Or a girdle. Today I learned as well. I got taught science and I got taught some linguistics. It's a good day for me. Who wants to take this one?
I'll take it. I'll take the Caiustus of the Battle Mage. It's 5th level education. And it costs you a bonus action with a touch spell. And it's a concentration that lasts up to an hour. You imbue the fists of willing creatures with a pure magical force that condenses around them, forming a battle glove. Okay. Because it's me, and I know my brain just instantly read that sentence and saw a wizard looking at, like, the halfling barbarian in the party and just slapping his hands, and they just glow with fury.
Yep.
And they just walk in there and just proceed to, or like the halfling monk, and they just proceed to walk in and just pummel the ever-living shit out of everything in the room. Because for the duration, making unarmed strikes deal an extra 2d8 force damage on a hit. Okay. 1 hour, 2d8 additional force damage on a monk.
I mean, it is a 5th level spell.
flurry of blows.
Yeah, it's not that it swaps out whatever damage you're dealing. It's in addition to whatever damage you're dealing.
You just put 2d8 damage on a flurry of blows from a monk who when you have 5th level spells is probably hitting up to 3 times a turn, which is actually like 6.
Yeah.
At first I was thinking, oh, I think the idea of this would be cool for like a paladin to put on someone, and they could be like, do you believe? Well, if you can't believe in him who believes in you, and then you get the power. But now I'm thinking, no, I want Muscle Wizard to cast this on himself.
Astral Self. Give this to the Astral Self monk.
Mm-hmm. We have one of those.
Give it to them as a form, as like a buff at a higher level, maybe even capstone.
Yep.
And now
oh man,
you've got
can you
the very
imagine giving
thing
this to Beats?
Oh, that'd be so
sounds scary.
fantastic. I want to give this to my Elefunk so bad.
Well, if the unarmed strikes aren't already magical, they become magical for the duration, which is amazing. So you can just buff someone that already doesn't have magical hands. The target of the spell hit with these magical strikes, they can choose to forego damage bonus, no action required, to instead force the creature they hit to make a con save. On a failed con save, they must either take an action or move, but not both for their next turn. So you can literally make them choose run or fight.
Wow.
And this is so easy to flavor. You just punch them in the stomach. One of those those big blows where the person gets lifted up and the spit or blood comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need you to be full, like, mouth open, eyes popping out of your head, like Frieza punched.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I need the cartoon effect. This is it's for the sorcerer or wizard, but honestly, so I was chatting with somebody and they pushed me onto the idea of rolling a high charisma, high wisdom monk so that they could tap into a paladin. But if you tap into some sorcery here, you now gain the ability to power up your own fist or have a sorcerer in your party power up your fist to beat the living crap out of somebody, and I support this.
I
Yeah,
might
we're here for this.
even. No, you go.
No, I was just voicing my support.
I might even also give this to certain clerics.
Oh yeah. War domain.
Yeah.
Storm domain.
Oh yeah.
I personally think the monk cleric, like, I'm not a big fan of some and like hybridizing, but I think the monk cleric is a missed opportunity, and giving it stuff like this would push it so much further.
Yep.
An hour, as long as you're not getting hit. Like if you're a monk and you've got uncanny dodge, or whatever the is it evasion that's you have the damage too? I think it's evasion. Like, this is fantastic. You're going in. Battle Mage. Oh, yeah. I guess technically, I don't think an Artificer is going to waste their top level spell for this.
No.
Like, oh, you could get it.
Not unless they like know they're going into the boss battle.
Yeah. Wait, what order is this done in?
I could see our Artificer doing this, actually.
You know what? I'm going to put it in just in case. Again, it's homebrew, so, like, do what you want. I will say, I have mentioned this before, I don't have high-level spells for warlocks because I've never played a warlock and I've never been in a campaign with a high-level warlock. And I didn't know that their class features later on is that they get a 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th level spell. I didn't know that was a thing. So my repository is missing high-level warlock spells because way back in the day I didn't know that they had access to them. So I just never put them in. And now I'm like, oh, I might actually have a high-level warlock in my campaign, and I got nothing extra, but it's fine because DM Bacon's... We used to call him min-maxer, but during the last session, he was like, this isn't the campaign to min-max in.
You're like, whoops.
Okay. The next one, Great Spellblade. If you love the Moonlight Greatsword, this spell is for you. You condense pure magical force into a blade that you hold in a free hand and slash, extending the blade. Because it's a 30-foot cone. Each creature in the 30-foot cone must make a strength saving throw or take 5d8 force damage and are pushed upward 15 feet or knocked prone on a Wait a minute. Okay. Or they take half damage and aren't pushed upward or knocked prone on a successful one. When you cast this spell using a spell slot at 6th level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 and you push them back by 5 feet for each spell level. I didn't realize we were air comboing, but this is a launcher.
We are. Oh yeah, no, we are definitely air comboing. Yeah, no, you've now entered a section of D&D that D&D doesn't know it has, which is the Marvel vs. D&D section.
What's happening here? Doesn't that mean you take an extra d6 because you're falling more than 10 feet?
Yep.
Gravity's gonna take over, man.
But
So
also just imagine that because you fall on your turn, remember.
Yeah.
So you get launched in the air, and so you're prepared and get hit up further, which means you're prepared now to fall on your turn. But what if your turn doesn't happen yet, and you get hit by levitate or feather fall by another person in the party, who then proceeds to knock you further up? So when it dissipates and the effect falls off of you, you literally plummet to the ground. Or making it deadly for no reason.
And this is just pure magic. Like, you don't even need a blade or anything. This is some FromSoft shit if I ever saw it.
You've literally cast Great Magic Greatsword. You are hitting now you've completed your Elden Ring build.
I need to.
Like, you've completed your Elden Ring build. Congratulations.
Needed to add that the balls dissipate when they hit. I just realized, did I skip you? I think I did. I skipped someone. Someone else is taking planar anchor. I'm definitely being okay with this. I guess also you could give it to Cleric and Artificer. Depending on who they're from. I mean, even as a last-ditch effort from like a Paladin, I can see them using Great Spellblade.
DM
Or
Lacara, would you like
even a Ranger. If they're a melee Ranger, which is rare, but it happens.
I like the melee Ranger. I like the dual wield feat.
Alright, planar anchor.
Yes.
Ooh, 7th level conjuration. You're getting high, guys. 1 action, 120 feet. Concentration up to an hour. You send forth a spear of condensed magical power towards a creature you can see within range. The creature must make a dex saving throw. On a failure, it takes 12d8 force damage.
Jesus.
And they cannot Use any conjuration magic or any similar effect that would allow them to teleport between locations or between planes of existence, like the plane shift spell, so long as you are concentrating on the spell.
So you literally
In
are
them.
pooning somebody to this plane.
Yup.
Woo!
Like you've got a magic thumbtack.
And I'm reading the component. It's a forked metal rod worth 250 gold. You literally can combine this with that artificer spell to make one solid gold like metal forked rod, pass it off to your wizard, and just be like, hey, keep this guy here as they javelin
Yeah.
a force to this plane of existence. Good
Uh-huh.
luck. Good luck plane shifting, Strahd. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah. No blink, no misty step, no
You
anything.
have to play the sound because each of the planes and the normal cosmology have a specific note that gets played for them. You have
Yeah.
to play the note when someone casts this. You have to.
Oh, I feel like what you do is you tap the like
Oh,
I
like
see
a
it like a
tuning
tuning
fork?
fork. Yep. You tap it first and then just wing it at them.
Ooh.
And you can even say like roleplay wise, like your forked metal rod sticks to that person as long as you're maintaining concentration. As
Yep.
if like Magneto stuck it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Or, the prongs are just sticking out of them.
Not true, you can just stab them with it, that works. I this is
I like this one.
so good for being like, hey you, I'm gonna fuck you up. There's nowhere you
Mm-hmm.
can go.
It's like, hey, look, here's what's going to happen. You're gonna die.
Oh, extra planar deity? Ooh, I'm so scared. Hint.
Like, imagine though also being the BBEG in a campaign, like your DM forgetting that you can learn a spell. Like they've let you
Yeah.
take these spells,
Yep.
and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, spoilers for anyone who didn't know this, but like, the leader, the great beholder that lives and breathes everything underneath the head of the beast, as they know, as everyone knows, that good old Xanathar. Imagine him trying to escape by going like shifting, and
Yep.
him just getting hit by this metal rod pinning him to where he was.
You're just like, nope.
Like his mind flare is trying to open up the portal, and it's like, come on, master, let's go. And you just pin both of them, and you're just like, nah, man, nobody's leaving. I don't
We're finishing this here and now.
like, no, you ran away last time. Today it finishes.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Man.
No,
This
this
is
is
fantastic.
I am scared. Okay, I read ahead. I
To
am
the next
scared
one?
of Yeah, I am scared.
Read it,
I
read it, read it.
Yeah, read it.
may I?
Yeah, of
Okami?
course.
Conjure Arcane Battalion. A 9th level conjuration spell. I am afraid. It is an action with a range of 150 feet. It requires a metal plate worth 500 gold. And at instantaneous speed, you conjure a squadron of troops to momentarily aid you in battle within range. You summon 5 troops that you choose when casting the spell between archer, knight, mage, and priest. Each has a different effect. Archer shoots an arrow at a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack on a creature. On hit, they take 5d12 force damage,
Oof.
and they must make a con saving throw. On failure, they become incapacitated until their next round. Knight. Rushes towards a creature within range and shields them from harm, giving them a bonus to their AC equal to your spell casting modifier until the end of your next turn. A creature can only benefit from this effect once you cast the spell. Mage. Send forth a barrage at a point within range. Each creature within 5 feet of that point makes a dex saving throw. On failure, they take 4d12 force damage, or half as much on a successful save. And the priest, who targets one creature within range, and they gain 4d10 temporary hit points. This is insanity. This is Dark Souls.
You just keep throwing. It's like Elden Ring, where if you summon your dudes with your spirit ashes, and then you leave and you come back and you just summon more dudes, and then you leave and you come back and you summon more dudes. Send dudes. You mean nudes? No, I'm in a fight. I need more men.
Imagine burning your wish spell to cast this spell an unlimited number of times per day.
I'm
like,
my
wish.
own army.
What do you want? The ability to cast Conjure's Arcane Battalion at 3 times a day for free. Huh?
What spell? Did I let you take that?
Yeah. Yeah, you did. It's like, I'm going to use it now.
Forever.
Yeah.
The party agreed. Yes. I needed more attack spells, okay? We need more men.
But also being a conjuration wizard with that spell, all the buffs you get to conjuration, that makes that spell just frightening.
Yeah. Holy cow.
I would also, well, depending on what kind of cleric you are, I think this makes sense. Like if you're a war cleric, you are the war.
Grave cleric,
you are the army.
What if you're a grave cleric? You literally summon the undead war army to fight for you temporarily.
I fucking love this.
Yep.
And again, these are just archetypes. You could describe them any way you want.
Mm-hmm.
Or trickster cleric, and like they're not real.
Oh, you change it from force to psychic damage?
Mm-hmm. Or if somebody makes like a really good perception check, it changes the effect.
Ah, yes.
I love this. This is a fantastic spell, and I'm also thinking like you should always shoot whoever you really want to hurt. Shoot them with the archer first to see if they get incapacitated, because then you have advantage on everything else. Somebody's dying.
Oh yeah.
You just have to figure out who.
Yeah.
Also, you can summon if you're against one bad guy you really want to take out. Summon 5 archers.
Yeah.
Drop 5 archers and watch him just go like chain. Drop 5 archers on him and let him get hit by a warlock's hex.
Like you
hex
can
die, please die, please die.
First the con save, just drop him.
You can lay waste to an army with the mage explosion too. She's like, shoop. That's fantastic. With spell sniper, yes. Oh, this is. At first, I was like, you know what? This seems kind of weak, but you're getting 5 of those dudes, so that's a lot.
Oh yeah, that's.
This is like you could win the Holy Grail war in Fate with this. If this was your reality marble, you'd be whooping ass.
You really would. You just show up, it's over. It's like, yo, man, he won the fight. I don't know why we're still here. I don't even know what I was doing before I left my house, man.
All right, we got one more spell in here, and then a couple of items. which is everything on that first page is arranged in spell order and alphabetically, and then the second page they were like, here you go. Why?
Some spell.
Why you do this? You are on a
Yeah,
roll, bro.
You're like, oh, you're good now.
You'll be alright.
Does anyone else want to take spell empowerment?
Sure. 5th level abjuration. 1 reaction. It's a reaction cast which you take when you fail a saving throw from a spell or are the target of a spell. You attempt to absorb the power of a harmful spell. If the creature is casting a spell of 3rd level or lower, you half the damage of the spell. You gain a number of d6s equal to half the level of the spell you absorbed rounded down up to a max level equal to your spell casting modifier. If the spell is a 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting modifier. The DC equals 10 plus the spell level. On a success, you absorb the spell. What does that mean? Until the end of your next turn, when you cast a damaging spell, you deal an amount of extra force damage equal to the d6s you've absorbed. Okay, there we go. Oh, wow.
Oh, so you
Wait.
just take all of that spell in.
You just eat
What?
it and then spit it back out at them with something
Yeah.
else.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
This
Oh, this is different.
is
That's interesting.
This is the I have one of my spell scars. Her ability is that if it's as long as it's not bludgeoning, slashing, or bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing damage, she can absorb it and then channel it through her fists. But this is an even crazier version because she can shoot it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is something that you hand to a player and you listen. I'm trusting you.
Don't make me regret this.
Yeah, like I'm really trusting you here. Please don't make me regret this.
Huh.
Like you're staring at them deeply in the eyes, like I'm trusting you, please. And they're just looking at you like, oh, I'm gonna make you regret this. So.
I already have plans for making you regret this.
It's like decisions have already been made.
I don't know what you were thinking. I'm not going to stop you, but you're definitely going to wish you hadn't.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. Looks like the last little stuff we got.
Alright, then there's some items. Does someone want to take the Shield of Defense? Which is a edit of the Staff of Defense, which if you played Lost Mines of Phandelver, that is one of the first magic items your party will get.
Well, apparently while holding the shield, you have a 1+1 bonus to AC. This bonus is in addition to the shield's normal bonus to AC. The shield has 10 charges for the following properties. It can, for the following properties. It regains 1d6 plus 4 expended charges at dawn with a save of DC 15. It can cast Shield, Warding Bond, and Repelling Spell Mass.
Oh,
Um,
it has 4 charges of that. That's insane.
yeah, that.
It's quite a bit stronger than the Staff of Defense, I tell you what.
Yeah, that's you've just got 4 charges of repel. You've got 2 charges of shield, but you got 4 charges of repelling spell mass.
Yeah, that's...
It's like defense, yeah.
Oh,
Safety,
that's how many
sure.
charges it takes up. So you have one. It has 10 charges, so you have 2 repelling spell
Okay.
masses.
Yeah, it was like 2, 2,
Okay.
and 4 do not add up to 10. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Even still,
It
2
has
casts
become a
of
square.
yeah. Even still, though, 2 casts of that and then a shield spell is kind of ridiculous.
But did you see the coolest part of this?
Oh, I was about to read it. Fortified location. You can expend 3 charges and slam the shield down. Where is Grim?
Right? This is for you, bro. Where are you?
You know what? Don't put this in your repository.
It's not. It's an item. It goes in my personal
And don't ever use it. Don't ever use it until Grim watches this episode and comes back to you and tells you the secret phrase. All right? Which is, I cannot become an artificer. All right? Just okay, when he repeats the secret phrase, he can then learn about this shield. But you can expend 3 charges, slam the shield down, and form an arcane wall around it. A 10-foot by 10-foot wall that is 6 inches thick extends from where the shield is planted. And this wall can be damaged. It has an AC of 17 and 45 hit points.
Steve is strapped to it.
Yo, Steve is manning with all of his might. In fact, you slam down the shield and Steve pops out the shield and casts shield. That's
That's the spell.
That's the spell. Steve just starts holding the shield, and his shield plus Steve is just OP. He's got 17 dex because he's so small. He's got 17 AC small, so he's got a crazy dex bonus. He's got natural mage armor on. He's just strapped to the T.
Get behind me! This is anime hype. That's what this is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is anime hype. It's finest. And the last item, Okami, you want to tell us what it is?
Sure. We've got the Dragon Crest Ring, which is for sure a FromSoft item. But this one is, the ring contains lingering magical power within it, imbued with great arcane prowess. When you cast a spell of 5th level or lower while you're wearing this ring, you can use the ring to cast the spell as if it was 1 level higher than the level in which you casted that spell. Once you use this property of the ring, it can't be used again until the next dawn. So you just get a free upscale on 1 spell a day.
So I have a question for you guys, really quick. So what happens? It says at 5th level or higher, right? Or lower? Oh, or lower. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you were gonna say if you make it a 10th level?
Yeah. What happens when you cast 10th level Conjure Arcane Battalion? How do you upscale that Arcane Battalion?
All 5 of them are permanent. They're actual people that get added to your party.
Yeah.
You pulled them out of another universe. They're like, what the hell?
It's not an Arcane Battalion. It's a party from another campaign you've just yanked.
Oh my god, yes. 5 new players just like come out from behind a door somewhere. You're like, what the hell? Your party's like, what the hell? And they're like, hey, we're joining your campaign.
It's like, hey, they work for me. It's like, yo, bro, did you just summon these people? It's like, yeah, man, like.
Yeah, from Reddit like 3 weeks ago. They've been waiting.
Right? It's like, I made a guys are actually mail order.
Okay, so I'm gonna put both these in my items bookmarks. Though I feel like by the time you get to late game, you're probably gonna take your Dragon Crest ring off for something better that requires attunement, but whatever. Listen, up to 5th level is pretty fine just to get a free 6th level spell. Like, okay. Yeah. Do what you need to do. All right, we have one more thing on the docket, and it's literally just 1 spell, but your husband, DM Lacara, might be interested. I did
Ah.
give him a a little. Hey, we're getting some bard stuff because a lot of these, I guess, technically, I might even give spell empowerment to bard.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I think about it, I hadn't been thinking of bard for any of these, but
He does not need ideas. On Friday, he's like, "Oh, Scott sent me a thing." I was like, "Yeah, I know. He told me." He was like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "I think you underestimate how constantly we talk."
Yeah.
You're like, I know these things well before you.
Oh, I hit control.
Usually know these before they've been sent to you.
Let me edit this link to throw in. I would even give repelling spell mass to bard, but as like each of them plays a different note as they spin around overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Like their musical notes.
His class already has so many things like that in it. His subclass.
I'm gonna go with spell empowerment for them too because they like giving and taking.
Terrible.
Oddly enough, it's my ranger who's always at the brothel. My bard doesn't. Actually, my bard has a crush on one of our enemies now, which is weird, but okay. You do you, boo boo.
That'll only lead to confusion.
And probably heartbreak one way or the other.
Yeah. Our final thing for today. If you're on, oh, this one's gonna be loud. Let me lower that. If you're on YouTube, you can check the links to hit up Power Chord from Chocolate Thunda. If you're on Twitch, I'm throwing it in, pinning it for the next 30 minutes. Well, yeah, I'll pin it for 30, but I don't know if we'll be here 30 minutes. Y'all know. Y'all know how long we usually go. Who wants to take Power Chord?
You didn't drop the thing into the...
I didn't give it to you guys, though. I'm a jerk. Oh, this one's also super high res. No. Smaller, so I can read it. Thank you. I personally have a tweak that they also came up with.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna want this.
On the Reddit post for this. It's something that they talked about. But I also came to the same conclusion. Who wants to take Power Chord? I have to say it like you're a Power Ranger. I have to.
I think with your enthusiasm, you should take it.
All right, yeah. I'll take Power Chord. Transmutation cantrip. It's one action, range of 30 feet. Components are verbal and material, and instrument worth at least 1 SP, so you just have to have whatever your bard instrument is. It lasts for 1 round, and the class is bard because it's for your instrument. But by amplifying the power of your instrument, you release a projectile made of pure sound at a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d6 thunder damage, and the next attack roll made against the target before the end of your next turn has advantage due to the reverberations that throw the creature off balance until then. And then because it's a cantrip, it gets more powerful as you level up. A lot of what other people said, and I drew the same conclusion, was that if you're looking at spells that deal, like cantrips that deal damage, usually the damage is lowered if they have some other effect. And the comparison everyone was coming up with was if you want to do a CC type ability plus damage, use Vicious Mockery as the go-to, because it's the same thing. It does 1d4, and then it gives you some debilitation. And I think the Power Chord should probably be the same, that it should be a D4. And then, because you don't even need the extra damage. This is to set up your teammate to obliterate someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a D10. Like, a D6 is not going to take someone out. I'm okay with it being a D6.
Strunk. I'm trying to think who in our game, who is the biggest damage dealer?
I would say probably Beat.
I was gonna say I think it's the monk.
Yeah. Because, like, all of you guys went for, like, either casters or half casters, so there's not a lot of our paladin was only there for a couple months, and our artificer does damage but is only there about half the sessions.
Hmm.
So I haven't really gotten a good sense of how effective he is, like, actually in a fight.
Gotcha.
Like, he's got those, like, thunder wristy things that he does when he punches people, but I don't know. He's the one that came to me when we were making characters and was like, okay, so I want to be an artificer, but I'm going to totally nerf myself. I was like, okay, interesting choice.
Been hearing a lot about that strategy.
We were just having that conversation the other day about that, about nerfing yourself for the campaign.
Whoa.
I don't get it, but yeah, I think
it either. So you're not alone.
I think our monk is probably our biggest, not our most enthusiastic fighter, but definitely our most effective fighter.
Hmm.
Like, a fight comes up and my husband, the bard, is like, rah! And like acts like he's the barbarian and like goes running into the middle
He's
of
usually the
fight
first in.
instantly. Almost always. And everybody else is like, do we have to? All right.
I don't know if counter song is. People are bringing it up, but I don't know what it is.
It's counter song.
No.
Counter song, interesting.
Someone give us a link.
I mean, from the title, it sounds like something that harm a bard by like silencing the sound of music.
Hmm.
Or that they do as is it like a version of counter spell for bards?
Seems something. Oh wait, hold on. Give me this. Oh, I see a lot of people had it in 3.5e. Hold on. What did it used to do? It was supernatural. Okay, so it wasn't actually magic.
It's AD&D, right?
Yeah, but in
Yeah,
3.5e, you outplay someone who is trying to do something that has a verbal component. You basically cancel out or scream. Roleplay wise, that's amazing. I would be so pissed if I was trying to cast a spell and somebody sidled up to me and was like, la 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 la.
I'm just imagining it's the equivalent of if you've ever seen the original cartoon Little Mermaid from our childhood, when Scuttle cuts in on Kiss the Girl, the wah wah, like that. Imagining like you're trying to cast like this charm spell on someone, and someone's like wah 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 wah, like Bobcat Goldthwait just appears in your eardrums and starts yapping about his day, and you cannot cast your spell. It's the only way I will now allow this to appear and occur.
And they can keep it going for 10 rounds?
Oh my
God.
10 rounds of Bobcat go away.
I would make somebody do a Constitution saving throw to see if they had enough air left to keep yowling at the end.
Interesting. I don't have counter song, but we came up with a spell a while back that is in the repository that was written poorly, but the attempt was that whereas counterspell is supposed to be something that you can see happening, we use convolute, which is if you can hear it happening, so you don't actually have to see them casting a spell, you just have to hear them yell out the name or whatever their code word is, and then you mess up their words. But you can convolute, they can burn an extra spell slot to overpower your convolute. So there's still like some level of play here. Like, I really want my spell to go off. Will I sacrifice casting a spell later on in order to get it to go off?
No.
That,
Those
I
are kind
think
of
that's
fun
a
decisions.
yeah.
Yep.
I think that's a fun way to also like hit the spellcaster.
Where it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in your spell slots, bitch.
But I think it's also funny because a lot of players pick I realize that a lot of players pick spellcasters inadvertently in their first like TTRPG outings, and always get confused that they're getting beat up by a group of goblins
You were
because
not
they're
cut
like,
out
wait,
for this.
yeah, they're like, wait, but we cast spells. They're goblins, and I'm like, yeah, but you cast spells, they can just hit you. Like, yes, your spells can kill them, but they can kill you well before then if you're not careful. Like, no, do not walk forward.
Also, yeah, you can cast spells, but there's probably like 30 goblins, and there's maybe 4 of you, so just be aware. You might
I
need to
feel
call in to send dudes.
I always love when people pick a cleric and the cleric uses their 2 spell slots at level 1, and everyone's just like, heal me, and he's like,
I did.
I don't have more.
That's all you get, buddy.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're out of healing? Like, how did you run out of healing?
I think there aren't as many. The thing that I think 5e doesn't do very well is make you feel like you're making important decisions in combat. Like, obviously in the adventure, that's entirely just up to the DM and the characters.
Right.
But like in a fight, there's so little actual interaction and so little sense of trade-off. Like, you're either a min-maxer that knows exactly what to do, and you go into every fight and you're like, I cast this spell, I cast this spell, I cast this spell, we're done. Or, hit, extra attack, flurry of blows, whatever. Or you have no idea what to do or what is the right thing to do, and you just like run around the battlefield basically aimlessly doing things and hoping you're helping. Like, but there's no sense of like a really good board game where you're sitting there going, oh, if I do this, I could do this, but oh, if I do that, I won't have enough resources left to do that. Like, that good tension that you get is just like totally missing in 5e.
I was just watching Deficient Master's video for today. He was like answering people's questions from all his social media and what have you about like how you get better at DMing and DMing advice and what have you. And someone was like, I'm scared I'm gonna kill my players. He was like, listen, if you're playing 5e, he goes, I'm pretty sure you're playing 5e. Once your players are past like 3rd level, it's really hard to kill them. It's really hard.
It's upsettingly difficult. And I don't say that because I try to kill my, but I try to make all of my games, because I have kind of shifted. I personally know I've shifted out of 5e. Like I've shifted away from the 5e formula. I kind of use like a hybridized like 2e, 5e, like 4e combination. It's weird. But I say that to say I want my players to enter battle, and in the same way they feel like they can kill the monster in front of them, I want them to feel like the monster feels the same.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to know the monster feels like it can absolutely take them.
Yeah. You need that, or it just becomes mechanical.
Mm.
And I say that as somebody that has never achieved inducing that feeling in my players.
I try to get my players to fear. I try to get my players to fear combat, and then I feel like I get them most of the way there, and then all of a sudden they overcome the combat.
I think you have to give them some kind.
Anyone should be invincible.
Yeah, I think you have to, because everything is so glass cannony in 5e. I think you have to add in some kind of puzzle element if you want your players to think.
Oh, 1,000%.
Because if it's just hit them harder than they hit us right away, everyone's immediately just like, nah, I'm gonna do fireball. I'm gonna do fireball.
Mm-hmm. No, it can become very frustrating to be a DM in 5e. And I think that's why it's unfortunate that 1D 2024, whatever you want to call this new edition of D&D, it didn't fix anything.
It definitely made some things worse.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what they thought they fixed, and what they don't realize they didn't make better. Because this is, if I can put it bluntly, a shit show. I think eventually we will have to look at what they've done with the.
At some point, I said to my players, I was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy them new them new books, but like if you guys want to buy me the books, I'm not gonna say no. I'll look them through if you get me the books."
Gives us more content to complain about.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I have so many books. You missed it at the beginning, but apparently, supposedly, my mom and her husband are leaving this weekend, and I'm like, oh my god, I can actually get something done. My sister won't leave also, but I was like, oh my god, if I can just last till this weekend, I can get ahead, and then I can start reading some more reference books, and that'll be fun.
I hope she finds something to do. I know that sounds really, really bad.
No.
I literally had a conversation about this today with her.
Pretty well watching this though. It's not as bad as this is why you need to like, comment, subscribe.
If you want to learn more about me and my family dynamic, please look up Unfired Tales.
Yeah.
I mean, you're wishing a life on her. It's not like you're like saying something bad.
Yeah.
I wish
you're like, please have something constructive to do.
I really wish you would go outside and be a regular.
Yeah. But we did finish what we set out to do here, and that means it's time for next week's poll. So I'm gonna throw it up in YouTube, and then bloop, I'm gonna throw it up at Twitch, and I will start making it in the Discord because I keep forgetting, and then it comes up late. But there is a new option on the poll that hasn't been there yet because I was going through all my bookmarks and all my things. One of the things that I've been doing on the side, I haven't really been doing it a lot lately, but those old videos are still up there. When itch.io was releasing charity bundles, I don't know if any of you have used itch.io, but it's a good way to get like DRM free games and lots of like really, really small indie games. But they also do TTRPGs and other things you can get on itch.io. So I would catalog all of them, and I have tons of really small TTRPGs, or not even small ones, but medium-sized. Some fully fleshed out ones, but a lot of them are very small and self-contained. So new option on the poll is if you want to take a look at some other TTRPGs. They might be like a page or two long, but it's something. We'll have to see how much we jump into things. We're going to try to stay 5 episodes as maximum length on any given topic. I don't think we should go any further than 5, but we'll see. It is a new option.
We're going to try real hard to stick to 5.
I may actually have one to contribute to that if you don't have it already.
Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, the poll works. 24 hours from now, we'll put in whatever the community has voted the most for. That's a good question. I don't know how to throw up a poll on Twitch. I didn't know Twitch could do that.
News to all of us, I think.
I'm gonna figure that out for next time. I had no idea. Ah! Okay, let's see if this works. Oh. What? No. Yes. Huh? What's happening here? Yes.
Okay.
Open a setup menu to create a poll. And yeah, do the thing, dude. Ah! Cool! I wonder if YouTube can also do this. I feel like YouTube can also do this. Oh, I can't have more than 5 options? That's annoying.
That's it.
This is done.
Boo!
We can just cycle. We can cycle through them. Make like a subset and then.
Yeah. This should be easy peasy.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Or you could do. I mean, I could put up 2, and then as long as you're watching the VOD, I think you can see them? Question mark? Let's see. I think I only have, no, I think I have 3 mods left. Shin, are you a mod on Twitch? If so, I have 4 mods, none of which ever come into stream.
I don't think I'm a mod for you. Yeah, I'm not a mod of yours.
Oh, the poll only stays up for 10 minutes as well? This is, ugh. But it's something. We will keep those going. If no one wants that one, then the other options are on the other page. Interesting. Okay. So I can put up 2 polls real quick. They won't stay with the VOD because it's only 10 minutes long. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I guess what you can do is just you can make the 2 polls real quick. Oh, you can't have more than 1 poll at a time? Okay, good to know. Yeah. Okay. I will do this next time. I will set them up so that they're like cascading.
Ooh, okay.
I got this.
We can just eliminate the last 5 things we did.
So usually what I do for the polls is whatever the last thing and the other last thing was, I usually take them off and swap them in for something new.
Ooh.
So many things we can go over. And I mean, eventually, I'm sure we'll also be sharing, like, or I have tons of source books otherwise, digital. I'm sure at some point we'll be going through those as well.
I think source books, materials, stuff I think eventually we should also go through some of our own stuff. Could be a separate series itself, you know. But I think eventually people know that we have flavor.
Yeah.
I think eventually we should show people how we craft flavor, maybe, and how to kind of flex flavor in their own campaign. I think that could be fun to do.
Shin's working on he's working on a whole game.
Yeah. I would love to do a walkthrough of that.
I continue to make advances in that. I feel like I make a strong advance in that game, and then I'm like, ooh, but what if I did it this way? And then I'm back at my square one, and I'm like, shit, I didn't mean to go this deep.
Yep. Definitely can relate.
Yeah. I mean, I have my campaign setting, like,
Yeah,
just that we could do
want
like
to hear
a
a lot more about that too.
yeah.
I
I
know
have like a 2 or 3 page intro document that like gives all the like setting and mechanic stuff. We could do that as like a thing at some point.
Yes.
The poll will eventually have show and tell.
Mhm.
Do you think we taste like Nintendo Switch cartridges? I bet you don't know that lore, DM Lacara.
Do they taste different than normal plastic?
All of the Nintendo Switch cartridges are flavored bitter because people were eating them at the beginning.
Eating them?
Yep. I don't think it was always intentional, but people were eating them. So now all Nintendo Switch cartridges have a bitter taste so that people will stop putting them in their mouths.
How do you unintentionally eat a game cartridge?
The Switch cartridges are real small, so I'm assuming a couple kids were just like, I wonder what it would taste like. Gulp.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking when you say Nintendo cartridge, I'm thinking like from when we were kids.
That would be so much harder, but I'm sure someone's done it.
Like, I don't think the people doing this are strongest soldiers. They are not our greatest warriors.
Yeah, this is like the Tide Pods all over again.
Yeah, these are the people who, when the war kicks off, there's a 37.7% chance they're going to take themselves out.
Look, I'm a huge fan of Darwin. There's some things you just need to let happen.
Like, natural selection sometimes has a real hard job. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just the way it be.
Yeah, no, sometimes natural selection really has a hard. I feel for it, because sometimes I see sometimes where it's just like you missed one. You missed one.
Yeah.
That being said, I do have to get ready to go. So
I'm just making the poll for us, but that means we hope to see you all next week. Tonight. Hi. Tonight is wow. Words are hard. What is happening?
I told you.
This is wowie zowie. Okay. Well, we'll be back next week at 8 with a poll topic of y'all's choice. And I will make sure that the polls in Twitch are cascading next week so that it fits and works better. Because you're only going to get half the options right now, I'm pretty sure. Because I don't think they're going to stay in the VOD.
Yeah.
But we will let you know. You can always cheat by coming on YouTube and seeing when I make the video description. That's the easiest way to cheat. You'll know exactly what's on because I don't usually update the Twitch. However, I will be updating the Twitch because, as I said at the beginning, I'm going to do a thank you stream for all the Twitch subs and the patrons and the YouTube members on Sunday. So come and hang out. I am collecting ideas for what we can do for the future thank you streams, but I would like to stream at least once a month with like a pretty easygoing atmosphere. We'll just pick something to all do together. Right now it's probably going to be clerical so that I can get some work done and chat, and there's no I don't have to be worried about doing something or playing a game that I have to think for and what have you.
Just a chill guy atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very gray shirt energy.
Yeah. Yeah. We will see you, players of all classes, next week at 8. You can come find other people via social links except DM Lacara because you'll have
You
to
don't
talk to
find
us.
me, I find you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you don't get to reach out into the void to summon DM Lacara. All right, that's not your function. You want that kind of power? Subscribe to the Patreon and then come talk.
Yeah.
I do accept warlocks on a case by case basis.
Ooh. Yes, we will see you all later. So, goodbye everyone on Twitch. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, folks.
Yeah.
I will keep the chat window open until the poll closes, but we're going to kill the stream. So we'll still be here. Okay, bye.